All right, so today I'm going to actually talk a little bit about a comparison between this Patagonia Wheelie pack. It's the Wheelie MLC, and this is the Mini MLC backpack. One is a wheeled pack, and one is an actual backpack that you carry. As you can see, I've got a lot of Patagonia stuff. I like their philosophy, their business philosophy and business practice. And so I try and support them whenever I can. I've used this on previous trips, trips to Europe and so forth. And I really like this pack, this MLC pack. It hits every size determination as far as like traveling in Europe. But I started having some issues with one of my feet. And I was going on a trip, so I decided to try out this wheelie pack and see whether or not the wheelie pack would help me out with some plantar fasciitis that I was dealing with. Sort of did, but anything was better than anything. And I'll do another review of this one in a little bit. But really, this is the one I want to talk about today and compare to. I haven't done a bags video in a while, so I thought I'd give this another go. So this is the 34-liter Patagonia Wheelie MLC, and as you can tell, it's got some basic wheels on it. These are not the 4 turnable wheels. These are just 2 basic wheels that allow you to put it down and wheel it rather than carry. It is a little bit larger than the Mini MLC that I showed before, but it does have a lot of good features in it. Here is the actual handle that pops up. This handle, I didn't mind it, but I did notice that even just with one trip, it's actually starting to get, it seems like a little bit loose. Wheelie packs are not my real thing. I really like to have something on my back so that I can be a little bit more mobile. And in certain places in Europe, if you have wheelie pack like this and you try and drag it around, the cobblestones, not only is it annoying to the locals, but it actually, you take one of these down the Spanish stairs and you could get fined €600 for doing so. So you want to try and keep that in mind when you're traveling around in Rome and some of these other places with historic sites. So it does have a good opening here. One of the things about this opening is it gives you a little bit extra room in here because you actually have some room around the hardware that make up this pack. So you have some room to put some, what I did was I put some shoes down here and some smaller things that pack down out of the way, and then I could turn it into a larger flat pack on the way up. These are very good areas here to store. I've stored underwear and socks in here, that kind of thing. Maybe put a dop kit in here, and that worked out pretty well as well. As far as compartments, that's really all we have as far as compartments is this main pack right here. So one of the things that I found disappointing about this is that you don't really have a good place to actually put, like, let's say your tech stuff, a laptop, that kind of a thing. It does have the option to actually turn this into a backpack, and I did use it a little bit in that regard, but not as much as I usually use a backpack in terms of mobility is concerned. I just left this as a wheelie, and really I tried to just leave it in my room whenever we were going out and stuff, and I had another bag that I would use in as opposed to this. So when it really comes down to it, this is a pretty basic pack. It doesn't have a lot of other features as far as storage is concerned. I guess here's an area where you could put some other storage. Maybe you could put tablet and stuff in here if you wanted to, but the difficult thing about putting a tablet out here is then you actually can damage the tablet or laptop if you aren't careful with the bag here. This one actually does fit for European style carry-on as well, and it fits in overhead bins. It fit fairly well, not quite as well as the MLC Mini, but this one did actually fit fairly well. It's got some tie-down straps on the side here, on both sides, so you could actually tie something down if maybe you're traveling and you wanted to tie off like a, I don't know, fly rod or that type of a thing. You could probably get it in there. It does have a nice big pocket right here if you did want to put a bottle of water or something like that, or maybe another tubular type of a situation there. In general, I found these wheels to actually work pretty well. They held up really well. In the bottom here, you also have, if you open this guy up, you also have a repair kit. So if you actually have a busted axle in one of your wheels, you actually have a repair kit where you could replace that axle for you. So you can see here that you've got like a plastic back to this, and then your kind of your typical wheelie bag hardware for it. It does add a bit of weight to this, and that's another thing that I found unfortunate about the pack, is it does add a little bit of weight. I want to say this was 6 pounds compared to like 2, I think, for this mini MLC. I liked it for what it was. I did find some drawbacks to it as far as storage was concerned, but I guess that's what you get with some of the features on this particular pack. All right.